Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're going to dive into a pretty radical new way of thinking. It's a playbook for the world we actually live in, a world that's complex and all interconnected, not the simple, straight line one we were all taught to expect. So, here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at why our old methods are failing us. Then, we'll introduce a new way of seeing things through systems thinking, and we'll talk about what success really looks like in this new reality. And finally, we'll get into a practical guide for actually leading this way.
Okay, let's just get right into it with a hard truth. The world is operating on a completely new set of rules, but so many of us are still trying to use this old, outdated playbook. And well, it's just not working anymore.
I mean, this right here gets to the absolute heart of the problem. Just take a simple word like publish. It used to be this scheduled, kind of mechanical process, right? But now, oh man, now it's a 24/7 constant flow of information to a million different platforms. The very definition has been totally flipped on its head. So, to make this a little less abstract, let's talk about a fictional company called Mago. Now, they're facing challenges that, well, I'm guessing they're going to sound pretty familiar to a lot of you. They're stuck trying to slap old solutions onto a whole new set of problems.
And for Mago, I mean, the shift is just massive. Information isn't just a static article anymore. It's data that's constantly in motion, ready to be reshaped for any platform. A product isn't just a magazine. It's this endless stream of content. And their audience? It's not just subscribers anymore. It's everyone, everywhere, catching a glimpse of their stuff on any device you can imagine.
All right, so if the old playbook is totally busted, what's the new one? Well, here's the thing. It's not some new tool or a quick fix you can just buy. It's a complete shift in how we think. It's about moving from seeing simple, straight lines to understanding these complex, interconnected webs. First things first, let's get on the same page about a key word here: system. So, a system is just a group of interconnected parts working towards some shared purpose. But here's the magic trick. A system is always more than just the sum of its parts. Its real behavior, its personality, that all comes from the relationships between those parts. And that leads us right into the main event, really. Systems thinking. It's not one single skill you can learn. It's more like a collection of practices that, when you do them together, help you see the whole picture. It's about understanding the patterns and the connections instead of just getting bogged down by all the individual, isolated little events. And this is where you can really see the difference. Our default setting, for most of us, is linear thinking, right? It's sequential, predictable, very focused on being in control. But the world, the real world, is nonlinear. Systems thinking is the skill that lets us see those hidden connections, shift our perspective, and really start to embrace all that complexity. And this, right here, is the absolute key. The goal isn't just to swap out a broken part, like updating some old software. We have to start seeing the entire socio-technical system. That's that intricate dance between people, processes, and technology, and really understand how they all influence each other. Okay, so once you start thinking this way, it naturally leads you to a whole new way of looking at success. I mean, if the world has changed this much, then our goals and how we measure whether we're winning, well, that has to change too. Let's go back to our friends at Mago for a second. Remember their old goal? It was super simple: sell products. But in a world of endless information and constant change, that's a losing game. They were chasing a target that just didn't match their reality anymore. Now this is their new goal. Just look at how different that sounds. It's not about a single sale anymore, is it? It's about creating this adaptive ecosystem of value. It's all about flow and engagement and building relationships. That is a systems-level goal. It's focused on the health of the entire system, not just one tiny piece of it. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it? How do we put it into practice? Well, this mind shift actually translates directly into some real, actionable objectives for any leader or any team that wants to do more than just survive complexity. They want to thrive in it. First up, Objective 1. We need to cultivate what's called conceptual integrity. What that really means is that every single decision has to be tied back to the system's bigger purpose. It's about constantly asking why, looking beneath the surface of all the day-to-day chaos to see the deeper patterns and structures that are actually driving everything. But you can't have that kind of integrity, that deep connection to why, unless you're building on a solid foundation of shared understanding. And that brings us to Objective 2, improve the collective knowledge stock. This isn't just about having facts. It's about sharing the reasoning behind your ideas so the whole team actually gets smarter together. So, okay, you've got integrity, you've got this amazing stock of knowledge, but what good is it if it's just sitting in a silo somewhere? That brings us to objective number 3. You have to improve knowledge flow. This is all about creating feedback loops and real opportunities for teams to learn together, to turn all that great insight into actual, meaningful action. This quote really just nails the whole idea of systems leadership. It's a huge shift away from that old top-down command and control style. The role of a leader becomes all about facilitating learning and guiding the system, not barking out orders for every little move. And all of this leads us to a really powerful and kind of beautiful metaphor for this new way of working. It's about creating a totally new relationship with all the complexity and uncertainty that's all around us. So here's a tough pill to swallow, the one that systems thinking really makes us face. You just can't control complex systems. Our old linear mechanical attempts to manage and predict every single outcome, they're pretty much doomed to fail. But, and this is the hopeful part, as the brilliant systems thinker Donella Meadows once said, we can dance with them. We can learn their rhythms. We can feel their momentum, and we can respond with grace and skill. It's not about control, it's about being in this responsive, adaptive relationship with the system itself. So I want to leave you with this question, something for you to really think about. Whether it's your team, your company, your community, or hey, even your own life. What's a complex system that you've been trying to control? And what would it look like to start learning how to dance with it instead? The first step is just to ask the question. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer.